the real competition that we have is not the chemical companies. It's not fertilizer companies. We say, okay, we can help you reduce your input costs, your pesticide usage, your fertilizer usage, but our competition is not a fertilizer company. It's not a chemical company. It's not a pesticide. It's not a fungicide or herbicide, any of those things. Our competition is not GMO manufacturers or researchers. Our competition is really only one thing, and that is considerations. Now, what is a consideration? Well, a consideration is just an idea. Okay, it's an idea that a person has. And when you have an idea, consideration has a tendency to be a fixed idea, meaning it's an idea that doesn't really change. You get up in the morning, you may look around through your refrigerator and say, well, what do I want for breakfast this morning, right? And you may just make a decision. One day you may choose eggs, another day you may choose cereal, right? You have different ideas, and it's not particularly a fixed idea unless every single day you go out and you eat eggs every day. You never change that. But when it comes to businesses and running your farm, what we've run into in talking to thousands and thousands of farms around the world is, very interestingly, a fixed idea, consideration. And that fixed idea and consideration is there's really only a few finite or unvaried ways to increase crop yields and crop production and crop health. And those ways are the ones that have been used for the last 60 or 70 years, right? You're talking about adding nitrogen fertilizer, supplementing with phosphorus or phosphates or potassium. In some cases, maybe supplementing with micronutrients, or now biological activities and microbes. Adding those biological agents to the soil is becoming a little bit more in vogue, and that's been going on for the last 20, 30 years. But our technology and our product is a very unique technology, right? We're not talking about a chemical additive. In fact, when I talk to people for the first time, to farmers for the first time, about, hey, we have a product that's going to increase your crop yield by 15 to 30%, or even more perhaps, the first thing they think of immediately is, well, what kind of fertilizer is this? Is this something you inject? Is this, a liquid fertilizer, a chemical, something like that? And that's what we call a consideration, a fixed idea. And that just means that most farmers, because of their long track record of using chemical fertilizers, manure, and those types of things, they just assume that when you talk about increasing productivity, you're talking about one of the well-established methodologies, which is fertilization, for example, or fertility, or soil amendments, those types of things. But the reality is, and there's a reason I say that that's kind of our competition, because we have a technology that utilizes a very unique radio wave signaling system that directly stimulates the metabolism of plants.